Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Schlage 10-027 in a 613 finish. This is a strike plate from Schlage. These are commonly referred to as a full lip strike. That I believe would be the best official technical industry definition for this type of strike. Maybe a little bit less official, yet no less descriptive, would be the term D strike. You can see why we might call it a D strike if you use your imagination a little bit. This full lip strike is going to include a couple of screws for a wood frame. This is a D strike is 2 1/4 tall. Although there are full lip strikes that are 2 3/4. Not that you're going to really find that from Schlage, but there are, at least one. There is at least one manufacturer who will make a full lip 2 3/4. But it's generally understood a full lip strike is 2 1/4 tall. Overall width of the strike is about 1 5/8 inches. However, that's not how strikes are measured. Strikes are measured in terms of the lip length, I should say, from the center line of the screw hole to the edge of the lip. And strikes like this are generally about 1 1/4 inches. Generally, this is a bit shy on that, but that's not unusual. 1 1/4 inches plus or minus. Maybe 1 3/16 inches plus or minus 1/8 or 1/16 would be more accurate. This would be for a typical application where you are installing this onto 1 3/8 inches, possibly, very likely, or maybe 1 3/4 inch thick door, where the length of the lip will be adequate to clear standard trim. And where people have trouble with a strike like this is when they don't have standard trim and that they need to have that extended. And we can help you with extended lip strikes. But be mindful, this is a standard length lip. This will be made of brass. This is what it'll be made of. Okay. Brass strike. Now, let's take a look. A 10-027. Now, that inherently means that this is a radiused corner strike. That's a 1/4 inch radius. That means when they are mortising or routing the jamb for the strike plate, they've got a 1/2 inch diameter router bit in there, and they've just gone through and routed that through and didn't go back and square the corners out, leaving it radiused. That's why you would want or need a radiused strike, or maybe radiused corners on a hinge as well, because they've not gone back and squared those out. Could you take a square corner strike? Most likely you can if you wanted to square out those corners. Most people, especially people that don't come from a construction or hardware background, the thought doesn't occur to them that a radius corner is only because those corners on the frame aren't squared off. Doesn't matter. Radius corner strikes are incredibly common, especially in the pre-hung door industry. This is what 613 looks like from Schlage for this strike at this time. 613 is defined as a living finish, which means that this strike from 10 others next to it are not going to be identical. And that's just how that is. 613, oil rubbed bronze, it's a living finish, they call it. Living finish means non-stable, means it will change with time, and means that none of them together will be identical in look. Let's switch to the screen view and take a closer look at some supporting documentation. Okay, so here we are looking at the Schlage 10-027. Really, what's important here is they'll tell you the series of locks that this will be used on, but also the F series, no doubt, is where you would use this. You could probably use it on the D series for that matter as well. The link here below this video to the manufacturer's page, what I'd like to do is pull that up and then click on the full line catalog, which is here. And once that document comes up, we can do a find function on our keyboard. So when that catalog comes up, you can do a find function on your keyboard for 10-027, and it will take you through a tour of all of the instances where it shows up. Schlage does have a line of decorative tubular locks. It obviously shows up in their LT series. What's nice about the LT series is that it shares levers with Schlage L series mortise locks, Von Duprin exit device trim. Anyway, talking about strikes here, 10-027 shows up 17 times and just comes into play in terms of different again, lock series. But this is a good page to stop on as any other. The 10026, that's going to be the common garden variety strike. That's the square corner version. The only difference is the 10027 is radiused corner. This is what we would refer to as a T-strike. If you use your imagination, you can see why we call it that. The hardware industry is nothing if not imaginative when it comes to naming things. 2 3/4 the height of the strike. This would be an ANSI strike or an ASA strike. That's 4 7/8 tall. Again, 2 1/4 and 2 1/4. It shows up here again. This might be S-series locks. Interconnected. Yeah, okay, I guessed right. Interconnected S-series lock. The only new things to look at here would be a thimble strike and a drive-in strike. So a thimble strike is used when you're drilling a round hole in a steel frame or a wood frame. You do not intend to chisel anything, but that would be used for a deadbolt. This round drive-in style strike, the 10058, you just drill a round hole and you put that in there and run a couple of screws. No mortising, just drilling. This is a deadbolt strike, 2 3/4 tall. This is for the Schlage S-Series interconnected, which will incorporate a latch and a deadbolt. That's just handy to show you other strikes from Schlage. Nothing new there. Yeah, nothing new there. So very handy document to be able to review other options. And that find function was just Control-F on a PC. On that link to the manufacturer's page, you can view all of the Schlage products that we sell as well as a link to the website. Again, that full product catalog, but lots of encyclopedic documents, manuals, templates, service guides, archival catalogs. I've got a catalog from 1972 here, and I have much older catalogs as well as a link to the service manual. That's probably 1,000 pages plus of parts drawings. The master template index, cylinders, and key blanks quick reference guide is handy. I use that all the time because I never, I don't commit to memory the part numbers for Schlage key blanks, and this is just where I go to get them. Very handy. Let's wrap up this video on camera. Okay, in conclusion, a very typical and common strike. This client also ordered a deadbolt strike, ordered some dust boxes, and ordered some security strikes as well for their project. Obviously working on reinforcing something based on what they bought. I'm going to imagine that this is indeed an exterior door. Okay. The name Schlage has been synonymous with locks for 100 years. It's Walter Schlage who is known as the German lock wizard. Lock wizard literally is what he was known as. He was the son of an incredibly brilliant machine tool and die maker, I think. I just don't recall, but I know that Schlage's father was quite the brilliant genius himself. Schlage worked for a primary company, Yale, Corbin, someone like that. At night, worked in the lab, so to speak. Translation to the 19 teens in the United States. I think it was California. He worked in his basement, concocting and improving his inventions in his mind. Schlage is important in particular when it comes to the evolution of locks. He figured out how to get the cylinder within the trim. So if you've ever worked on a lock that has the cylinder in the knob or the lever, that's a Schlage invention. They have exceptional technical support, and to them I say thank you for that. They continually provide exceptional technical support. Any questions on the 10-027 613 full lip radiused corner strike or any other Schlage product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.